Welcome to another Let's Talk. I've had a request today to talk about the Paragon card system, as it's a little different from any other MOBA that's out there. So we're going to go through and take a look at that. So there's you've got your universal cards. Okay, these cards are not exclusive to heroes. Okay, any hero can have these. So these are probably going to be, to start off with, the cards that are going to be in your deck. Okay, and then what you've got is what is called affinity cards. So as you can see, we've got growth affinity, fury affinity, corruption affinity, intellect, and order. Okay. Now, if you take a look at the heroes, all heroes have access to universal, but each hero has a specific affinity, or maybe two affinities. So for example, we take a look at Dekka. Dekka has two affinities. She's got growth and order. This means that she can have growth cards, she can have order cards, and she can have the universal. Okay. Feng Mao, he is fury, he is order. He can have fury cards, he can have order cards, he can have universal cards. Gadget, she has an intellect affinity, so she can have intellect cards, she can have universal cards. Okay, so as you go through, you can just see some have one affinity, other heroes have two affinities. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea of what cards you can use in your deck. Okay, so there's your order, there's your intellect, corruption, fury, growth. Okay, so if we take a look at Dekka, who is growth and order, I can highlight order, I can highlight growth, I can highlight universal, and all the ones that aren't grayed out, these are all the cards that she can have in her deck. Okay, these are all the cards that she can use in her deck. So when you start off making a deck, the first card that you're going to come across is what is called a prime card. Okay, now for the majority of the game, this prime card is going to be useless. It's not really going to do anything. Okay, the only time the prime card works is when you hold the prime orb, which is a buff given by a giant pink minion in the middle of the battlefield, or the prime card has been activated by your team by getting the prime orb into the opponent's altar. Okay, so there's generally three primes work on three different things. The left one, the archmages, this is for casters. Okay, the one in the middle is generally for tanks, and the one on the right is for physical damage, melee DPS. Okay, or range DPS, sorry, physical damage. Okay, so let's take a look at the archmages. The archmages gives you 65 energy damage once the prime orb has been activated, 100% damage bonus on top of that, and the unique passive is 300% damage versus structures to minions. Damage versus structures to minions. I wonder if that's a spelling mistake and that's supposed to be versus structures by minions. Or maybe it's just saying the towers do extra damage. Anyway, let's move on. So the Centurion gives you an extra 1000 health, 100% damage bonus, 500 maximum health to your minions. And the Warlord, plus 65 physical damage, plus 100% damage bonus. Unique passive is 100% damage versus minions to minions. Okay, now when you have a team composition, ideally you want to have all three cards. You want to have a tank with the Centurion prime, you want to have a caster or a mage with the archmage's prime, and then you want a physical damage hero to have the Warlord prime. And the reason you want that is because of these unique passives. Okay, so you get the extra damage there for the structures to minions, plus 300% damage. Okay, then you've got the extra health to the minions, and then you got the extra damage from minions to minions. So the Warlord is going to really push your lanes. The Centurion is going to stop the lanes from being pushed, and then the Archmagus is going to I assume the wording is incorrect there. The Archmagus is going to allow your minions to do additional damage to the structures. Okay, so you've got to know whether you're going to use energy damage, whether you're using physical damage, or whether you are going for a tank. So in this case, Chimera, he is physical damage. So we're going to pick the Warlord. Okay. Now, with the cards, if you take a look in the top left-hand corner of the cards, you will see there is a number, and this number corresponds to how many card points it costs. Okay, so you start off, you got your ones here in the top left hand corner, then you got your twos, your threes, moving on into fours, got your fives, your sixes, your sevens and tens. Okay, so this is how much card power you got. When you're playing the game, you collect these orange orbs which give you card power, and you can have a maximum of 60 card power in total. So you can have cards that go together that add up to 60, no more than 60. Okay. The second thing to notice is in the top right hand corner, you will see that some of these have little bits of color. Okay, so your universal cards don't have this. Okay, universal or just universal. Okay, there are no rare universals or anything like that. But over here, you'll see in the top right hand corner here, there's a little white triangle. Okay, and this little white triangle tells you that you are dealing with a common passive. Okay, as we go down, you will see there is a green triangle. There we go. So green triangle in the top right hand corner means you are looking at an uncommon card. An uncommon card. Okay. If you look at the top right and there's blue, that is telling you that is a rare card. Now, whether a card is rare, uncommon, or common doesn't really define whether it's going to go into your deck. Okay, so if you end up with 5 rare cards, it's not a must that they're in your deck, because they don't necessarily work with the hero that you're trying to build a deck for. Okay, so really the rarity is only telling you how hard it is for you to get those cards, nothing more. They're not really telling you that they're better cards or anything like that. Okay, so that's something you need to bear in mind. So we've got a Warlord card here. Okay, you start off in a game with 3 card points. So you can start off with 3 of the 1-point cards to help you get started, or you can move on to a 2-point card, or you can get a 3-point card straight away. Now when you start off, generally you want sustain, so you can live longer in the jungle, or you can live longer on lane. So most people get health potions. Now for Chimera, he's a jungler, so we take a look at all the 1-points here. Okay, plus 6/5 physical damage, that's good for him. Shaman Drink, he doesn't really need mana regen that much, so this I wouldn't use for him. You got your Scout's Ward. Scout's Wards are very important in the game. Gives you vision. Mana Potion, again, he doesn't really need that. Barrier Token, Energy Armor, he's not really going to need that in the jungle. Harvester Key, very important, I'll explain why. Health Potion, gives you health back. Hunter's Drink, this is pretty good for late game for Chimera, because overall, once you get to level 8 and above, this actually gives more healing than this does. So when you jump into battle, you can pop this, and it's going to give you even more health regen, which is insane. So what I would quite like to do is get the Hunter's Drink and get the Jungle Drink. And you want to get the Jungle Drink because not only does it heal you, but it gives you that extra damage that you need in order to kill minions. Then I decide, do I want to take these? Well, I'm not a support, I'm a jungler. This could help you because it can stop you from getting ganked in the jungle early game, because it allows you to see on the map when someone's coming for you. But for me, I generally go for the extra damage. Okay. So when it comes to your 2 cards, your 3 cards, your 4 cards, etc., etc., okay, you'll notice in the bottom they have three black circles. Okay. So when you're in the game, basically these cards are telling you what you can purchase. Okay, so if you've played a mode before like Dota 2, they have shops. You purchase items. Everyone can buy the same items. League of Legends, you got the shops. You buy items for your hero. Everyone has access to the same items, I believe. And the same with Vainglory. You've got a shop back at your base. You can buy items. Everyone can buy the same items. In Paragon, there is no universal shop. Okay, what you do is you create a deck, and basically this deck is saying what things you can buy for your hero. So you kind of create your deck. Now what this does is it enables, or in theory enables you to create a unique play style for your hero. Although I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of online, this is how you do it for maximum damage, this is how you do it for maximum attack later on, and everyone's going to be doing the same thing. But based on the cards that you've got, you can make your own deck to suit around your own hero. So you've got to understand when you create your deck what your hero needs. Okay, so if you take a look down here, this is kind of like a real basic guide. You'll see there's squares with red triangles in. These are useless stats for your heroes. So energy damage and energy penetration. This guy does not use energy. He is a physical damage melee hero. Okay. Now when you see the slightly green, I guess, triangle in the top left hand corner, this is telling you what is suitable for your hero. So we've got attack speed, crit bonus, crit chance, physical damage, and health. Okay, so to start off with, you want to kind of base your deck around what these guys are telling you. Maybe do a little bit of research later on once you've had a few games. Okay, now with these cards, the 2 cards and plus, you will notice that there are 3 black dots in the middle. Now these cards can have other cards attached to them. Okay, so if you pick up your Shaman Juice, Shaman's Drink, Shaman Juice, the Shaman Juice just goes straight into your deck. There's nothing else you can do with that. Okay, you can't attach any other cards to it. If we take a look at this Fire Piston, you'll see that it has 6.5 physical damage output, 5.5 attack speed, and then it says when it's fully upgraded, you get an extra 5.5% attack speed. Okay, what does fully upgraded mean? Well, when you click on the card, it pops up with this secondary menu. Now this is relevant to the 3 black dots at the bottom. You can attach 3 cards to this card. Okay, so if you think of this like a major card and these are minor cards, okay, and you can see it says select linked upgrades. So what you do here is you decide what cards go with it. Now, because this is a physical damage card and attack speed card, you can attach physical damage cards and attack speed cards to it. Okay. Now this is where the number in the top left hand corner becomes relevant. You only have 6 slots to put cards in. Those 6 slots, you can only have a maximum of 60 card points. Okay, so if I took this flash fire piston and added 3 vicious kinetics at a cost of 4, that would make this card, once it's fully upgraded, cost 4, 8, 12, 14 points. Okay, which means if I've got one of these for 14 points, if I had another one for 14 points, a third and a fourth, okay, suddenly I've got 42, 4, 6, 48 points already spent, and I'm not going to have enough to put other items into my deck. As a beginner's guide, basically what you want to do is you want to make these numbers add up to 10. So if I was going to put this in, a vicious kinetic, which is 4, plus the 2 is 6, I could put a major strike in, making it 9, and then I could choose a minor strike to make it 10. So you got your 2, your 4, your 3, and your 1. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So link and add. Okay. And this is how the card basics work. So you kind of understand the basics of what your character is built around. You then pick your cards, add your bonuses, make sure they add up to 10 to start off with, and then you can fill this up to 40. Okay, so you see it says 8 out of 40 at the moment. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 3 additional on there, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 8 out of 40 cards. You can only have a maximum of 40 cards. So you wanna kind of put in there whatever damage you want to do, the survivability for your tank ability, crit, chance, speed, all this kind of idea. This isn't how to build a deck, this is just going over the basics of what the cards are. Okay, so obviously when you get to the higher level cards here, okay, so the Splinter Bark Vest, okay, these are generally special cards with unique actives. Now on a PS4, where you've got your directional pad, you've got an up, a down, a left and a right button. Okay, you attach these to one of those buttons, and when you click it, it will then activate the unique active. Okay, so for the Splinter Bark Vest, when I activate it, for 6 seconds on a hit with your basic attack, you shred 32 physical armor off your targets for 4 seconds. The effect can stack up to 5 times. Now this is massively good for Chimera because he has an ability that allows him to do maximum speed for 5 seconds. So for 5 hits. So within 2 seconds you will have hit 5 times. So you will already have that maximum penetration of 160. Okay. The other unique actives we got: basic attacks on players grant sorry, it's a unique passive. Sorry, unique active versus unique passive. Unique passive. Passive just means it it just happens all the time. You don't have to do anything with it. Basic attacks on players grants a stack of 3% crit chance for 3 seconds. Okay, so if you wanted to go for a critical strike builds where critical strike allows your character to do extra damage, that would be pretty good. Unique passive, whilst critically wounded on a player kill, heal 40% of the enemy health over 10 seconds. Unique active, 160 physical penetration for 4 seconds. So if your character wasn't particularly fast, like Chimera, the rocket spike might be a little bit better for you, because you got that guaranteed 160 armor penetration. But the splinter bark gives you energy armor. That's fantastic. Okay, so what you then do is you just take a look at the cards, take a look at the abilities, decide whether they are right for your hero, and then you can start making your deck and adding the upgrade cards. Okay. Then you got your big 10 cards up here. Okay, now these are for people that are just starting out, maybe don't have some of the more advanced cards, and these are just a 10 card point card that you can put in that is quite powerful. So this one here, plus 20 lifesteal, plus 300 health. That's not 20 lifesteal, that's 20% lifesteal. Okay, so every time you deal damage, you gain 20% of your damage back as health. Up here, Fist of Kings, 128 physical penetration, plus 300 health. Okay, and then you got your portal stone here, which allows you to teleport to towers. I have never used this, so I don't know if this is useful. But those are the basics. Those are the bare basics, guys. Okay, I'm going to be doing a how to make a deck a little bit later on. But just to go over as a review, you've got your universal cards, which are available to every single hero. Okay, every single hero. You've then got your affinity cards, which are tied to the specific affinity of your hero. Again, you take a look: Deca, Growth Order, Grimexy, Intellect Corruption, Chimera, Growth and Fury. Okay, and whichever affinity your hero is, you can have their affinity and the universal cards in your deck. The universal cards, so the cards in your deck are basically your shop. They allow you to purchase buffs for your characters. So for example, like physical damage or magical damage, this kind of idea. And then you end up with the cards that have the 3 dots, and these are the ones that get upgraded, and you upgrade them, and once they get fully upgraded and you've put 3 upgrade cards in there, you then get the upgrade bonus. Okay, so that is it for the card basics. Just hope that helps. Hope that helps you tell, as you asked for the card basics and how that works. So if there's anything else you guys want me to go over, let me know. Wait, bro, Mr. Bull, is there a specific efficient way for you setting upgrades? I want to fill all my items with the best kind. Is there a specific efficient way for you setting up upgrades? In order for you to understand how your upgrades work, you need to be a good mathematician. Okay, you need to understand what kind of statistics are going to help. Okay, so for example, if you're going for if you're going to look at speed types for melee heroes, yeah, you've got speed, damage types from melee heroes. You've got physical damage, you've got speed, you've got crit. Okay, and you need to understand the mechanics of how crit works. You need to understand the mechanics of how speed works. You need to understand how physical damage works. Okay, because then you need to weigh up: do I want more physical damage? Is that gonna increase my damage chance? Do I want more crit? Is the crit gonna give me the extra damage that I need? Or do I need the speed in order to be able to dish out more damage? You also need to think about survivability, because obviously if you are dead, it doesn't matter if you do the moon's damage, okay? You're dead. You can't do anything. Okay, so you got to think about survivability as well. So it's not just about how much damage can I do to someone's face. It's also a little bit about how much damage you can kind of survive with. So generally, with decks, I put in 2 survivability cards, 1 physical survivability, 1 energy survivability, so that way I can defend myself. A third optional survivability card as well, which is usually physical, just generally because you end up at the moment the better is a lot of physical attackers are present in the game for whatever reason, even though melee is probably some of the worst heroes to have at the moment. I'm sure the meta will change at the moment. And then you want to look at what's going to be most effective for you to cause damage. Okay. Oh, you also have lifesteal as well for survivability. So if your character has high attack speed, lifesteal might be pretty good. In addition to damage reduction, you've got health as well. So you've got energy reduction, energy armor, you've got physical armor, you've got lifesteal, and you've got health. Those are the 4 areas that are going to help you survive. And then you've got damage. You've got physical damage, you've got energy damage, you've got penetration, so you've got armor penetration, you've got energy penetration, you've got crit, you've got speed, and then you've got your energy damage and your physical damage. Wow, that's a lot of things to think about. So with regards to physical penetration or energy penetration, if you are shooting someone in the face and you notice that they are not taking as much damage as other people, generally that means they've got some kind of defense. Maybe so if you're a caster and you're using energy damage and they're not taking that much damage, they've got some kind of barrier, in which case you can counter that with energy penetration. Yeah, same with physical. If you're punching someone in the face and they're taking hardly any damage compared to other people, that generally tells you that they have armor, in which case you are going to need physical penetration. But the thing is that later on you kind of want to look at having a balance in your deck between survivability and doing damage, which is one of the hardest things to master. But this is my very, very, very basic guide on the cards in Paragon, and I hope that has helped you guys out. So if there's anything else you wish me to go over, just let me know, guys. Other than that, I shall see you later. Take care. Bye.